Hi there. Now we're going to do lesson 69. My grievances hide the light of the world in me. No one can look upon what your grievances conceal because your grievances are hiding the light of the world in you. Everyone stands in darkness and you beside them. Because your grievances hide the light of the world in you, everyone stands in darkness. So while my light is not shining, everybody around me is in darkness because there's no light to illuminate the truth for them. But as the veil of your grievances is lifted, you are released with him. As I begin to become more loving, everybody around me is going to be released to experience more love with me, which means as I lift my vibration, everybody else's vibration has an opportunity to rise as well. Share your salvation now with him who stood beside you when you were in hell. So can you imagine if those people that we have been dancing this codependent dance with, that we have been caught up in illusions with, that we have been blaming and shaming and judging, that we've all been doing this, like our family, our siblings, our parents, our significant others. I know I did it with my children. Can you imagine if we begin to share the salvation with them and we begin to let them know how they matter, how they're valuable, how we are shifting and we are becoming aware of the wonder of the love of God that is inside of us, because our function is to be happy. If we begin to be happy, we release them to be happy too. He is your brother in the light of the world that saves you both. They are our brothers and sisters that are going to help save us. So can you imagine when families become conscious together, siblings, people at work? It really truly is amazing, because I save myself, I save you as well. Why? Because there's only one Son of God, one child of God. Paragraph 2. Today, let us make another real attempt to reach the light in you. Before we undertake this in our more extended practice period, let us devote several minutes to thinking about what we are trying to do. We are literally attempting to get in touch with the salvation of the world. We are literally attempting to get in touch with the salvation of the world. We are trying to see past the veil of darkness that keeps it concealed. We're literally parting the veil. We are moving the scales off of our eyes. We're releasing the filters that cause misperception. We are trying to let the veil be lifted and to see the tears of God's Son disappear in the sunlight. Let us begin our longer practice period today with the full realization that this is so. So just acknowledge, yes, I can do this. And with real determination to reach what is dearer to us than all else. Not only do we want to be determined to know that we're going to do this, but that it is so, that it is possible. Salvation is our only need. There is no other purpose here. Really, we're here on this planet. Our purpose is to be happy. If we're not being happy, then the only other purpose is salvation, and no other function to fulfill. Once we save ourselves, then we are automatically fulfilling our function to be happy. So we got to undo the unhappiness so that we can get back to the business of being what we are, happy people. Learning salvation is our only goal. Let us end the ancient search today by finding the light in us and holding it up for everyone who searches with us to look upon and rejoice. Stop seeking, stop searching. Acknowledge the light of God is in you. Why? Because you were created by God, who is the light. And how can God create anything other than itself? So stop the search. Let me read that again. There is no other purpose here and no other function to fulfill. Learning salvation is our only goal. Let us end the ancient search today by finding the light in us. Yep, there it is. Right there. It's in me, where it's always been. Always been there. The enlightenment that we're seeking is already inside of us. And holding it up for everyone who searches with us to look upon and rejoice. You know how many people tell me that they see me as an example of love and light and peace and joy. I mean, it's just so beautiful to hear those things. I mean, sometimes it moves me to tears because I know how judgmental I used to be. I know who I was when I was caught up in the illusion. And to hear somebody say that they get inspired to do this work because they see the peace in me, wow. That's because I made a decision quite a while ago that I was no longer searching, that my commitment was to be what I was. And then I found the Course in Miracles and it said the same thing. And it was like, oh my gosh, not that I needed the validation because I was receiving inner guidance telling me that that was so, but then I found a book like A Course in Miracles that gave me the steps to be able to do that. Made it so much easier. Paragraph 4, very quietly now, with your eyes closed, try to let go of all the content that generally occupies your consciousness. Think of your mind as a vast circle surrounded by a layer of heavy dark clouds. You can see only the clouds because you seem to be standing outside the circle and quite apart from it. This is a beautiful visualization. So make sure that when you do this, you give yourself time to really do what it is asking you to do here, because this is a powerful, powerful process. Paragraph 5, from where you stand, you can see no reason to believe there is a brilliant light hidden by the clouds. The clouds seem to be the only reality. They seem to be all there is to see. Therefore, you do not attempt to go through them and pass them, which is the only way in which you would be really convinced of their lack of substance. We will make this attempt today. Paragraph 6. After you have thought about the importance of what you are trying to do for yourself and the world, try to settle down in perfect stillness, remembering only how much you want to reach the light in you today, now. Determine, make a determination to go past the clouds. Reach out and touch them in your mind. Brush them aside with your hand. Feel them resting on your cheeks and forehead and eyelids as you go through them. Go on. Clouds cannot stop you. If you are doing the exercises properly, you will begin to feel a sense of being lifted up and carried ahead. Your little effort and small determination call on the power of the universe to help you, and God Himself will raise you from darkness into light. God Himself will raise you from darkness into light. You are in accord with His will. You cannot fail because your will is His. Now that we are acknowledging that the light is us, that we are already enlightened, that exists inside of us, and we begin to part the clouds, keep walking through those negative beliefs, those just judgmental beliefs, keep going past those fears. Let those fears, the energy of the fear burn. What you're doing is you're moving through the thing that has been blocking love and light from flowing through you, from you to the world. Keep walking. When the fear shows up, say, you're just energy, fear. You have no power over me. I have the power of God. I am the light of God. And as I turn my light on, these fears dissipate. It takes practice to do this. But eventually those fears won't be able to scare you because you will know that they're made of just clouds. Paragraph 8. Have confidence in your Father today and be certain that He has heard you and answered you. Have confidence. Be certain that if God says you're enlightened, be certain that He's going to help you when you decide that you want to experience it. You may not recognize His answer yet, but you can indeed be sure that it is given you and you will receive it. Try as you attempt to go through the clouds to the light to hold this confidence in your mind. Try to remember that you are at last joining your will with God's. When you are determined to receive your enlightenment, you have finally joined your will with God's. The way from there gets a lot smoother. It may still be bumpy because we still have work to do. We have layers and layers and layers to let go of. But the way becomes easier because God wants us to be in the light. God cannot play with us and have a full enjoyment of our uniqueness when we're hiding behind a little circle called our ego. We got to come out of that circle to play full out. So God is waiting for us to join him. Try to keep the thought clearly in mind that what you undertake with God must succeed. Then let the power of God work in you and through you, that his will and yours be done. Acknowledge that it is so, and it will be so. There's a determination that is necessary here for you to move through this idea that there's something, that you are anything other than how God created you, that you are less than, that you could possibly be small and weak and imperfect. If you align with God, then you're going to have the power of strength and perfection with you. Paragraph 9. In the shorter practice periods, which you will want to do as often as possible, in view of the importance of today's idea to you and your happiness, remind yourself that your grievances are hiding the light of the world from your awareness. Our grievances, our judgments are the blocks to the light of who we are shining. Remind yourself also that you are not searching for it alone and that you do know where to look for it. Say then, my grievances hide the light of the world in me. I cannot see what I have hidden. Yet I want to let it be revealed to me for my salvation and the salvation of the world. We're making a commitment, acknowledging, yes, the light is here, and now I am willing to go inside and let it be revealed for me because I want to bring the salvation to myself and to the world. Paragraph 7. Also be sure to tell yourself, if I hold this grievance, the light of the world will be hidden from me. If you choose to stay in your judgment, to stay righteous, you are holding the light of the world from you. If you're tempted to hold anything against anyone today, so that's what you're going to say if you want to hold anything against anyone, including yourself. If I hold this grievance, the light of the world will be hidden from me. What a wonderful lesson. I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you for the next lesson tomorrow. Thanks, and have a magnificent rest of your day.